Hello, 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 and welcome back. I'm Menacole O'Sullivan, and today we are looking at finishing up the chapter on the first habit of highly effective teens. I think in the 90s, Stephen Covey wrote a book, The Seven Habits of Highly Effective People. His son Sean wrote the book, Seven Habits of Highly Effective Teens. And it doesn't matter whether it's the 90s, the 50s, the 60s, the 2000s, the 2020, whatever, these still apply because they are timeless principles. So buckle up, sit back, relax, and listen as I read. It says, Growing Your Proactive Muscles. The following poem is a great summary of what it means to take responsibility for one's life and how a person can gradually move from a reactive to a proactive frame of mind. I'm going to read the poem now. It's over on the other page. Autobiography in 5 short chapters. From There's a Hole in My Sidewalk by Portia Nelson. I walk down the street. There's a deep hole in the sidewalk. I fall in. I'm lost. I'm helpless. It isn't my fault. It takes forever to find a way out. That's chapter 1. Chapter 2. I walk down the same street. There is a deep hole in the sidewalk. I pretend I don't see it. I fall in again. I can't believe I'm in the same place. But it isn't my fault. It still takes a long time to get out. Chapter 3. I walk down the same street. There's a deep hole in the sidewalk. I see it is there. I still fall in. It's a habit. My eyes are open. I know where I am. It is my fault. I get out immediately. Chapter 4. I walk down the same street. There is a hole in the sidewalk. I walk around it. Chapter 5. I walk down another street. We can apply that in our own lives. You too can take responsibility for your life and stay away from potholes by flexing your proactive muscles. It's a breakthrough habit that will save your bacon more often than you could ever imagine. Nothing can hurt Proactive Man. Check out this one. Oh, you gotta love Proactive Man. Ooh, yeah, I love that cartoon. My daughter loves the cartoons. Oh, mommy, can I draw the cartoons? Yeah, you can draw them. Can do. Being proactive really means 2 things. First, you take responsibility for your life. Second, you have a can-do attitude. Can-do is very different from no can-do. Just take a peek. Can-do people take initiative to make it happen. No can-do people wait for something to happen to them. Can-do people think about solutions and options. No can-do people think about problems and barriers. Can-do people act. No can-do people are acted upon. If you think can-do and you're creative and persistent, it's amazing what you can accomplish. During college, I remember being told that to fulfill my language requirement, I would have to take a class that I had no interest in and was meaningless to me. Instead of taking this class, however, I decided to create my own. So I put together a list of books I would read and the assignments I would do and found a teacher to sponsor me. Ooh, very creative. Love it. I then went to the dean of the school and presented my case. He thought about my idea and I completed my language requirement by taking my self-built course. Love, love, love. American aviator Eleanor Smith once said, "It has long since come to my attention that people of accomplishment rarely sat back and let things happen to them. They went out and happened to things." Ooh, love that. It's so true. To reach your goals in life, you must seize the initiative. If you're feeling bad about not being asked out on dates, don't just sit around and sulk. Do something about it. Find ways to meet people. Be friendly and try smiling a lot. Ask them out. They may not know how great you are. Don't wait for that perfect job to fall in your lap. Go after it. Send out your resume, network, volunteer for free. If you're at a store and need assistance, don't wait for the salesperson to find you. You find them. Some people mistake can do for being pushy, aggressive, or obnoxious. Wrong. Can do is courageous, persistent, and smart. Others think can do people stretch the rules and make their own laws. Not so. Can do thinkers are creative, enterprising, and extremely resourceful. Pia, a work associate of mine, shared the following story, although it took place a long time ago. The principle of can do is the same. Here's Pia's story. I was a young journalist in a big city in Europe working full time as a reporter for the United Press International. I was inexperienced and always nervous that I wouldn't be able to live up to the expectations of a tough and much older male press crew. The Beatles were coming to town, and to my amazement, I was appointed to cover their stay. My editor didn't know how big they were. They were the hottest thing in Europe in those days. Girls fainted by the hundred just by their presence, and here I was going to cover their press conference. The press conference was exciting and I was elated to be there, but I realized that everyone would have the same story. I needed something more, something meaty, something with that would really make front page. I just couldn't waste this opportunity. One by one, all the experienced reporters went back to their papers to report, and the Beatles went up to their rooms. I stayed behind. I've got to figure out a way to get these guys, I thought, and there's no time to lose. I walked to the hotel lobby, picked up the house phone, and dialed the penthouse. I guess they would be staying there, their manager answered. This is Pia Jensen from United Press International. I would like to come talk to the Beatles. I said confidently. What did I have to lose? To my amazement, he said, come up. Trembling and feeling like I'd hit the jackpot, I entered the elevator and went up to the royal suites of the hotel. I was led into an area as big as an entire floor. And here they all sat, Ringo, Paul, John, and George. I gulped down my nervousness and inexperience and tried to act like a world-class reporter. I spent the next 2 hours laughing, listening, talking, writing, and having the best time of my life. They treated me royally and gave me all the attention in the world. My story was splashed on the front page of the leading newspaper in the country the next morning, and my more extended interviews with each of the Beatles appeared as a feature in most of the newspapers of the world within the next few days. When the Rolling Stones came to town after that, guess who they sent? Me, young, female, inexperienced reporter. I used the same approach with them and it worked again. I soon realized what I could accomplish by being pleasantly persistent. A pattern was set in my mind and I was convinced anything was possible. With this approach, I usually got the best story and my news career took on a new dimension. I'm so happy for her. George Bernard Shaw, the English playwright, knew all about can do. Listen to how he said it. People are always blaming their circumstances for what they are. I don't believe in circumstances. The people who get on in this world are the people who get up and look for the circumstances they want, and if they can't find them, make them. Pay attention to how Denise was able to create the circumstances she wanted. This is Denise's story. I know it's strange for a teenager to want to work in a library, but I really wanted that job. More than I ever wanted anything, but they weren't hiring. I would go to the library every day and read, hang out with my friends, and just get away from home. What better place to work than someplace I already hung out at? Although I didn't have a job there, I got to know the office staff and I volunteered for special events, and pretty soon I was one of the regulars. It paid off. When they finally had an opening, I was their first choice and I found one of the best jobs I ever had. Just push pause. When someone is rude to you, where do you get the power to resist being rude back? For starters, just push pause. Pause. Yep, just reach up, push the pause button to your life just as you would on your remote control. If I remember right, the pause button is found somewhere in the middle of your forehead. Pause. Sometimes life is moving so fast that we instantly react to everything out of sheer habit. If you can learn to pause, get control, and think about how you want to respond, you'll make smarter decisions. Yes, your childhood, your parents, your genes, and your environment influence you to act in certain ways, but they can't make you do anything. You are not determined, but are free to choose. While your life is on pause, open your toolbox, the one that you were born with, and use your four human tools to help you decide what to do. Animals don't have these tools, and that's why you're smarter than your dog. These tools are self-awareness, conscience, imagination, and willpower. You might want to call them your power tools. Self-awareness. I can stand apart from myself and observe my thoughts and actions. Conscience. I can listen to my inner voice to know right from wrong. Imagination. I can envision new possibilities. Willpower. I have the power to choose. Let's illustrate these tools by imagining a team named Rosa and her dog Woof as they go for a walk. Hey boy, what say we go outside, says Rosa as Woof leaps up and down, wagging his tail. It's been a rough week for Rosa. Not only has she just broken up with her boyfriend Eric, but she and her mom are barely on speaking terms. As she strolls down the sidewalk, Rosa begins thinking about her past week. You know what? She muses to herself. Breaking up with Eric has really been tough on me. It's probably why I've been so rude to mom and taking out all my frustrations on her. You see what Rosa was doing? She's standing apart from herself and evaluating and measuring her actions. This process is called self-awareness. It's a tool that is native to all humanoids. By using her self-awareness, Rosa is able to recognize that she's allowing her breakup with Eric to affect her relationship with her mom. This observation is the first step to changing the way she has been treating her mother. Meanwhile, Wolf sees a cat up ahead and instinctively takes off in a frenzy after it. Although Wolf is a loyal dog, he's completely unaware of himself. He doesn't even know that he's a dog. He's incapable of standing apart from himself and saying, you know what? Ever since Susie, this dog friend next door, moved, I've been taking out my anger on all the neighborhood cats. As she continues her stroll, Rosa's thoughts begin to wander. She can hardly wait for the school concert tomorrow when she will be performing a solo. Music is her life. Rosa imagines herself singing at the concert. She sees herself dazzling the audience, then bowing to receive a rousing standing ovation from all of her friends and teachers, and of course, all of the cute guys. In this scene, Rosa is using another one of her human tools, imagination. It is a remarkable gift. It allows us to escape our present circumstances and create new possibilities in our heads. It gives us a chance to visualize our futures and dream up what we would like to become. While Rosa is imagining visions of grandeur, Wolf is busily digging up the earth and trying to get at a worm. Wolf's imagination is about as alive as a rock. Zilch. He can't think beyond the moment. He can't envision new possibilities. Can you imagine Wolf thinking? Someday I'm going to make Lassie look like chopped liver. Oh, poor Wolf. Hi, Rosa. What you doing? Says Heidi, pulling up alongside Rosa in her car. Oh, hello, Heidi, replies the startled Rosa as she brings her thoughts back to earth. You surprised me. I was just taking Wolf for a walk. Hey, I heard about you and Eric. What a bummer. Rosa is bothered by Heidi's reference to Eric. It's none of her business. Although she's tempted to be curt with Heidi, she knows Heidi is new at school and desperately in need of friends. Rosa feels that being warm and friendly is the right thing to do. Yeah, breaking up with Eric has been tough. So, how are things with you, Heidi? Rosa has just used her human tool called conscience. A conscience is an inner voice that will always teach us right from wrong. Each of us has a conscience, and it will either grow or shrink depending upon whether or not we follow its promptings. Meanwhile, Wolf is relieving himself on Mr. Newman's newly painted white picket fence. Wolf has absolutely no moral sense of right and wrong. After all, he's just a dog. All dogs do whatever their instincts compel them to do. Rosa's walk with Ruth comes to an end. As she opens the front door to her house, she hears her mom yell from the other room, "Rosa, just where have you been? I've been looking all over for you." Rosa had already made up her mind not to lose her cool with her mom, so despite wanting to yell back, "Get out of my face," she responds calmly, "Just out for a walk with Wolf, Mom." "Woof, woof! Come back here," screams Rosa as Wolf darts out the open door to chase the local paper boy on his bike. While Rosa is using her fourth human tool of willpower to control her anger, Wolf, who has been told not to chase the paper boy, is overcome by his instincts. Willpower is the power to act. It says that we have the power to choose to control our emotions and to overcome our habits and instincts. As you can see in the above example, we either use or fail to use our four human tools every day of our lives. The more we use them, the stronger they become and the more power we have to be proactive. However, if we fail to use them, we tend to react by instinct like a dog and not act by choice like a human. Human tools in action. Dermot Reed once told me how his proactive response to a family crisis changed his life forever. Dermot was raised in one of East Oakland's roughest neighborhoods, the fourth in a family of 7 kids. No one in the Reed family had ever graduated from high school before, and Dermot wasn't about to be the first. Dermot wasn't sure about his future. His family was struggling. His street was filled with gangs and drug dealers. Could he ever get out? While in his house, on a still summer night before his senior year, Dermot heard a series of gunshots. "It's an everyday thing to hear gunshots, and I didn't pay it no mind," said Dermot. Suddenly, one of his friends, who'd been shot in the leg, burst through the door and began hollering that Dermot's little brother, Kevin, had just been shot and killed in a drive-by shooting. Whoa. I was upset, and I was angry, and I was hurt, and I lost somebody I ain't never going to see again in my life, Dermot told me. He was only 13 years old, and he was shot over a petty little street scuffle. I can't explain how life went after that. It was just straight downhill for the whole family. Dermot's natural reaction was to kill the murderer. After all, Dermot was raised in the streets, and this was the only real way he could pay back his dead brother. The police were still trying to figure out who did it, but Dermot knew. On a muggy August night, a few weeks after Kevin's death, Dermot got a hold of a .38 caliber revolver and went out in the streets to get revenge on Tony, Fat Tony Davis, the crack dealer who had killed his brother. It was dark. Davis and his friends couldn't see me. There he was sitting, talking, laughing, having fun, and here I am within 50 feet of him, crouched behind a car with a loaded gun. I was sitting there thinking I could just pull this trigger and kill the guy who killed my brother. Big decision. At this point, Dermot pushed pause and caught hold of himself. Using his imagination, he thought about his past and his future. I thought about my life in a matter of seconds. I weighed my options. I weighed the chances of me escaping, not getting caught, the police trying to figure out who I was, I thought about the times Kevin would come watch me play football. He always told me I was going to be a pro football player. I thought about my future, about going to college, and what I wanted to make of my life. Pausing, Dermot listened to his conscience. I'm holding a gun, I'm shaking, and I think the good side of me told me to get up and go home and go to school. If I took revenge, I'd be throwing away my future. I'd be no better than the guy who shot my brother. Using raw willpower, Dermot instead of giving in to his anger and throwing away his life, got up, walked home, and vowed that he would finish college for his dead brother. 9 months later, Reed had made the honor roll and was graduating from high school. People in his school couldn't believe it. 5 years later, Reed became a football star and college graduate. Like Dermel, each of us will face an extraordinary challenge or two along the way, and we can choose whether to rise to those challenges or be conquered by them. Elaine Maxwell sums up the entire matter quite well. Whether I fail or succeed shall be no man's doing but my own. I am the force. I can clear any obstacle before me, or I can be lost in the maze. My choice, my responsibility, win or lose, only I hold the key to my destiny. It's kind of like the old Volkswagen commercials. On the road of life, there are passengers and there are drivers. Drivers wanted. Drivers wanted. So let me ask you, are you in the driver's seat of your life, or are you merely a passenger? Are you conducting your symphony or simply being played? Are you acting like a can of soda pop or a bottle of water? After all, that's been said and done. The choice is yours. Coming attractions. In the chapter that follows, I'll take you on a ride you'll never forget called The Great Discovery. Come along. It's a thrill a minute. Baby steps. So I'm going to go through 10 baby steps to wrap up this chapter. The next time someone flips you off, give them the peace sign back, not the middle finger. Number 2, listen carefully to your words today. Count how many times you use reactive language, such as, you make me, or I have to, why can't they, or I can't. Reactive language I use most. Keep track of that. Number 3, do something today that you have wanted to do but never dared. Leave your comfort zone and go for it. Ask someone out on a date. Raise your hand in class or join a team. Number 4, write yourself a post-it note. I will not let blah, 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 blah. Decide how I'm going to feel. Place it in your locker or on your mirror or in your planner and refer to it often. Number 5, at the next party, don't just sit against the wall and wait for excitement to find you. You find it. Walk up and introduce yourself to someone new. Number 6, the next time you receive a grade that you think is unfair, don't blow it off or cry about it. Make an appointment with the teacher to discuss it and then see what you can learn. Number 7, if you get in a fight with a parent or a friend, be the first to apologize. Number 8, identify something in your circle of no control that you're always worrying about. Decide now to drop it. Thing that I can't control that I always worry about. Write it down. Number 9, push the pause button before you react to someone who bumps into you in the hall, calls you a name, or cuts in line, or do anything else that rubs you the wrong way. Number 10, use your tool of self-awareness right now by asking yourself, what is my most unhealthy habit? Make up your mind to do something about it. Most unhealthy habit. Write it down. What I'm going to do about it. Write that down too. So our next session will be on habit number 2. Begin with the end in mind. Thank you for sharing this time with me. If you want to learn more, Follow me on YouTube at Menacole Transforms or on TikTok at Menacole Transform. And feel free to comment, love, share. Appreciate you. Have a blessed day and enjoy your holiday season. I know most people are taking breaks from work right now to just recharge and gear up for 2026. Wishing you much happiness, success, and relaxation. And we'll see you soon.